Being able to generate millions of clicks and views for free on social media is a dream for most entrepreneurs. Nicholas Burns has cracked the code for short-form video and has built a massive social media following with simple 10-second videos. And he's been able to monetize that audience to create a six-figure income without ever spending a single penny on paid ads.
So over the last 30 days on Instagram, I've reached 3.1 million accounts. TikTok, one of my highest viewed videos, definitely was over 1 million, over 2 million. I booked 2 months worth of leads. It was every 15 minutes I had a call. Every 15 minutes from 1 to 7 p.m. for 2 months.
Oh my goodness. If you want to build a legitimate, profitable online business without shiny objects, without the hypey gimmicks, and without the stress and overwhelm, if you want to make more money without having to be present online all day, every day, pumping out content that nobody sees and hustling DMs to generate leads and sales, then this is the place for you. Welcome to the Digital Trailblazer Podcast, your online business university, where you'll learn how ordinary people start from ground zero with no influence, no email list or audience to sell to, and no business or marketing experience, and go from working 9-to-5 jobs to building successful 6- and 7-figure online businesses and all the steps in between. Learn the strategies that worked and what didn't. Learn the mistakes that they made and how to avoid them, and then learn their plans for scaling their businesses and taking things to the next level. All so that you can build your business faster and easier and make more money without sacrificing the things that are important to you in your life. I'm your host, Leah Ray Getz, and with me is my husband, Todd. Now, let's get to it with today's guest. Welcome to the show. Please introduce yourself and let our audience know what you do and who you are.
Alrighty, you guys. Well, first off, thank you, Leah, for that introduction. Just to tell you a little bit about myself, my name is Nicholas Burns. I'm 26 years old. I'm an entrepreneur, consultant, and essentially what I do is I help entrepreneurs build their business. I help entrepreneurs get funding. And I teach consumer law because I feel like consumer law is one of the premises of financial literacy. One of my main philosophies is using consumer law because consumer law helps you to be able to fix your credit, ultimately discharge your debt, but more importantly, get funded so we can actually build our business without having to use our own finances. So that's pretty much what I do. I'm just an entrepreneur, just looking to help other people because I was an entrepreneur growing up, needing help as well. So just learning what I've learned, I just know that I want to be able to help other people.
Well, and I appreciate that. And I know obviously you're a young guy at this. And so how did you start in this journey? What led you down this path? I
was 20 years old. I was actually going to community college. I was working at Walmart. And, back then, I guess in high school, one of my goals was to be an NBA player so that I could be able to make enough money to be able to take care of my family, to be able to just be able to help my family in a big way. But obviously, I grew to 6 feet. I didn't really get the size. The biggest things, or the reason for me wanting to be in the NBA was so I could help my family. And so just working at Walmart, going to PG community college, I didn't see how any of those things was going to be able to help me or bring me closer to that goal. So just working at Walmart, one of my friends called me and actually introduced me to an opportunity. One of my first opportunities in entrepreneurship was network marketing. And for anybody who actually knows network marketing or has ever been a part of network marketing, people can say bad things about it. But for me personally, it was able to develop me as an entrepreneur. I was able to learn. I was able to develop my mindset. But more importantly, just learn these key wealth principles that just help me lead and grow and continue to do business even more. And still to this day, those things that I learned, part of that is helping me to this day. I mean, I use those skill sets to this day. So
that's awesome.
That's why I got what led me to this journey is just one, that the culture was actually helping people in network marketing. And so that's what I wanted to continue to do. And even though I am still a part of the business, I'm not too heavy on it. I'm more doing my own thing, but it kind of just laid the foundations and the groundwork for where I'm at today.
Yeah, it's funny that you mentioned network marketing because it seems like that's the gateway drug to entrepreneurship for a lot of people. Even, and a lot, like, I can't tell you how many other, business owners that we're connected with that they all got started the same way. And now they've got successful businesses doing other things, but it's like so many of us got started in that network marketing space, and it's a gateway drug, right?
It was a little bit at a time, helping to shape and shift and think bigger and think like an entrepreneur and a business owner. So yes, I completely agree. No matter the negatives or the other things that people may experience, the personal development aspect of network marketing and helping to shift people's minds is huge for a lot of people, and it's done a lot of good.
Right. And the people that you're around too,
the community.
I was around a lot of people that were already where I wanted to be. And that's how I even found out about credit. I was seeing people, top leaders in the company, using their credit cards for team events, using their credit cards to invest in the business and, get more reps or get more customers to market themselves, to get those suits. They was using their credit, but it was all being paid right back because it was helping their business grow. And, just coming from a background like me, I never seen anything like that. I only watched my mom and dad, who only knew working a job. They didn't know anything about credit. They didn't know anything about financial literacy and how you can actually use credit to build wealth, So, I was able to gain a lot of value from network marketing, despite the negatives that people would say about it.
Yeah, I totally understand. So you are doing some really cool stuff on social media these days. And we really want to dive deep into this because I think there's a lot that you can teach and share for our audience on what you've done. So just like raw numbers, you've done some really cool stuff. So share with us what you've got going on social media and how you're using that to build your business.
Well, the reasons why I even got on social media was building a network marketing business. One of the things that I knew was important was exposure. I needed to be able to expose myself, and I'm going to bring it back to network marketing because I feel like it really plays a big role in how I'm able to have success today, because I was using those skill sets online, right? You got to be able to pique interest. You got to know how to be able to communicate with people and show your value. And most times you have to have an elevator pitch. You got to be able to communicate with people on the fly and teach them or show them what your business is doing in a short amount of time, or else people will lose interest. So I started to apply that same skill set to TikTok. I started to apply that same skill set to Instagram, primarily TikTok, because TikTok was really like that front runner around 2020, 2021 time. And this is when I got on that platform heavy. Just following other creators. Yes, I was posting some valuable content. The content was helpful to people. Some videos will work, some videos wouldn't work. But what I've learned, or what actually changed me and actually helped me grow, was I started to be extraordinary on social media. What I mean by that is there was people who will post maybe 1 or 2 times a day, maybe 1 or 2 times a week, maybe 3-4 times a week. But I got to the point where I was seeing people with millions of followers posting 5 to 8 times a day. Wow. Every hour, on the hour. You know what I mean? It would be 6 o'clock. And by 7 o'clock, they was posting another video. You look up, it was 8 o'clock, they was posting another video. And I was like, hold on. Okay, I'm a business owner. And these are people who aren't like business owners, or not really looking at business the way that I can see it. They don't know the benefit of course, people can see the benefit, but they don't know truly how social media or just having exposure can impact any business that you're a part of. Because that's one of the main factors why people's business doesn't grow, is because they don't have exposure. And so I got on there and I said, okay, bet, if I can learn, or if I can just start doing what I do on these phone calls, if I could start doing what I'm doing on these webinars and try to break it down and make it smaller in 1 minute, if I can communicate some value and give information in a short period of time in 1 minute or 7 seconds, and I did it consistently, and I did it at an extraordinary basis, 5 to 8 times a day, then who knows where I would be. Let's just say if one video gets me 1 follower, and I want to get to 100,000 followers. Well, my mindset at the time was, let me get to 100,000 videos, because if I get to 100,000 videos, then I'll get to 100,000 followers. Now, it didn't take me 100,000 videos, but just that mindset of, okay, bet I'm about to just go ahead and input more, just input more. And so that's probably was one of the shifts that actually changed my growth on social media.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So what did you grow your TikTok to?
So I have a couple of TikToks, but my main TikTok has about 317,000 followers.
Wow.
My Instagram has we just reached 200,000 followers on Instagram.
Wow.
And YouTube, we just hit 11K subscribers on YouTube. All organic. Didn't really use I didn't use paid advertisement just yet. And of course, we'll probably talk about the paid advertisement, one of the things that I came to you guys about. But I was able to learn so much that boosted my organic sales even more, so that it's growing and still growing.
That's awesome. So I'm curious, because I've this last year, I got really serious for a while on short form vertical video. So on TikTok, obviously, that's what we're talking about. TikToks are short, right? They're vertical videos. But on Instagram and YouTube, was that your primary content strategy on those platforms?
Yes. Yeah. The short form, vertical portrait videos, primarily making my videos on TikTok, my videos, I was keeping them under 10 seconds every video. I was making content that was very easy for me to make, because 5 to 8 times a day, that's really a lot. So I learned to create content that I could literally split up to 7 seconds. I would probably record just some B-roll of me walking around with a nice scenery or a nice background, or I have my girlfriend record me and she would probably record me walking by some water, and I can take that video and I can split it up into 7-second clips. I can also reuse those videos because it wasn't like I was saying anything on there, and I was putting valuable text. So I was on TikTok, I was making sure my videos were hitting those boxes that the TikTok algorithm was really looking for, which is shorter videos with text on them. They was really pushing those heavy, so I really ran with that. Did that for about a year, or I did that for about 2 years, gained hundreds of thousands of followers on TikTok, and I was literally at 3,000 followers on Instagram. And so I decided to just take all my videos from TikTok and put it on YouTube. Not YouTube, but Instagram, and started doing the Instagram Reels. For a long time, I thought that it wasn't going to work. I didn't think that, TikTok content would work on Instagram. But come to find out, given the fact that Instagram, Snapchat, even, Twitter or X, whatever it's called, they're all starting to use even YouTube started to do the short form content emulating TikTok. So why wouldn't it work? So I said, okay, let me just drop these in here. I said, instead of me being, most people would think I have to be, perfect on Instagram. I have to do 1 video a week. Let me spread it out. I said, let me just come with the same rawness that I brought to TikTok, and I'm about to just do 5 to 8 times a day on Instagram with the same content. And the content started off low, 200 views, 1,000 views, and eventually I was dropping the same 7-second content that I probably created months ago and was getting 7,000 views, 10,000 views, 100,000 views. And once you get a couple of videos that do 100,000 views, you're eventually going to get 1 million views. And then 1 million views is probably what's going to take your page. It's going to probably really grow your page. One video can grow your page, but in order to get that one video, you kind of have to do the input to get to that video. So I kind of use them both, and I primarily am on Instagram now and starting to transition longer form content on YouTube.
What you just said there about that one video that gets 1 million views, is what's going to make your channel take off or whatever it is. But you've got to put in the work to get to that one video. And it's funny you say that, because when you say that, it reminds me of our network marketing days, where they would say, it just takes 1 or 2 runners on your team to hit that 6 or 7 figure income, but it's going to take you maybe 100-200 people to recruit to get to those 1 or 2, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So I love that. And I love the fact that you figured it out one place, and then you're like, instead of trying to like split all of your attention and do a different strategy, it was like, all right, let's try to replicate that here, right? So you're not having to create all the content again and do all these things again. It's just, all right, let's hit it. And I've seen that myself, and I'm much, much smaller on those specific platforms, but it's, create it and send it out everywhere. And, one place it'll do really well, one place it might suck. And I'm fine with it. I'm not worried about it. I'm doing the thing and just getting it out there, and the different platforms just do what they do, right? So I'm curious, like really nitty gritty stuff, because you're doing amazing and I love it. So we're talking really short, so 10 seconds or less. I love the, the B-roll. So with text and tips and, valuable stuff. When it comes to like hashtag strategy, like and caption strategy in TikTok versus Instagram, lay it on me. Tell me what you got.
Okay. So, I'll tell you, the biggest myth is that hashtags is what's going to help your video get a lot of views. That's probably a big myth. People think you put a lot of hashtags, then you're going to reach a lot of people. But the hashtag strategy that I have, well, let me explain how to actually use hashtags and what they are for. Hashtags are specifically for targeting, okay? So let's just say you have a video that is a credit video or a marketing video. You're teaching to somebody about marketing. You're specifically targeting people that are interested in marketing. Well, your hashtags are going to be marketing hashtags, kind of like if you pay for advertisements and you are, just finding that target. And of course, the closer you get to your target, the better your video is going to perform. So if you are talking about marketing and you have hashtag marketing for dummies, right? And, you want it to hit those beginner marketers, the goal of the hashtag is to put it in front of those people that really need and want to see your content. That's what hashtags do, specifically for targeting. Now, let's just say you have a video, but you want it to reach a broader audience. As a matter of fact, you want people to stumble across it, or you want anybody to stumble across it because you know for a fact that video probably is a trendy video. Or let's just say it's a video that you just know is really good and it's going to perform well. If you do it without hashtags, you're going to be able to allow the platform to find that audience for you. And in a way, even though I was just talking about how the hashtags target it, if that video performs well with the masses, meaning no targeting, that video is probably going to go viral.
Wow, okay. I've never heard that before. Okay, so let me make sure I understand what you're saying. So hashtags obviously help you be laser targeted on your target audience, get in front of the right people. But if you've got something that is just has a broader appeal, it's a trending type video, that sort of thing. If you don't use hashtags, then it lets the platform optimize itself, and there's potential for virality.
Yeah, so it's kind of like it's kind of like if you are on there's 2 different stages. There's one stage, let's just say you have a product and you want to get the most sales. You'll probably you can go to the biggest stage and probably try to communicate it to everybody, but it will be better if you went to the smaller stage, because now you'll get more specific people that are interested in what you are talking about. But let's just say you have something that could be for everybody, and and let's just say you have content I'm just using content, or you have that voice that's good enough that can speak to that on that bigger stage to where everybody will listen. Of course, let's just say you will have to meet the point of being entertaining. You have to have a great hook to hook all of these different people, which is very different from if you have a hashtag and you straight talk about what you targeted. Those people are going to stop and listen more. So it's just a different game. If you decide to do no hashtags, just know to look to create content that's going to appeal to more people. You can stay hone in on your niche, but you have to create a certain type of content that a lot of people will watch. So for example, it was do you guys listen to Drake at all?
I've heard the name.
Never heard any Drake songs. Okay. So it was a Drake song. It was a Drake song on TikTok, and this is probably one of my most viral videos. I did no hashtags. In the video, it's a song called Lemon Pepper Freestyle with Rick Ross and Drake. And in the video, or how the song goes, he goes like Hamdan Muhammad, like my third cousin, facts. And he's like saying facts every time. And the trend on TikTok was to put a fact every time he said facts. So in the video, and this is a video, I said 5 things that the credit bureaus don't want you to know. And I said, and he was like, Hamdan Muhammad, like my third cousin, facts, bankruptcy, removed. Hamdan Muhammad, like my third cousin, facts, this remove. You can remove collections, you can remove charge-offs, you can remove late payments. In that video, I was at maybe 6,000 followers on TikTok. And I went from 6,000 followers on TikTok all the way to 20K from that one video. Wow. You know what I mean? So it was just the trend, even though I gave some valuable information, but when you pair it with the trend and you're on a big stage, people that's looking for that trend, you could be able to attract some people that may not be looking for what you are promoting, but that trend could bring them to your platform. Okay, dang, he listened to Drake. He was able to put a trend together. That was very clever. Dang, he's talking about credit. Now, okay, I need to get my credit fixed, because most people probably want to get their credit fixed or learn how to maximize their credit. So it just went hand to hand. A lot of people listen to Drake. So it just went hand to hand and, helped me in a big way. So that my strategies for that is use it if you're really targeting people. And if you got that trendy video, do no hashtags and see how it goes.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's we often talk about this with our personal clients about targeting different audiences. And there's so many people who start an online business and they think that they just want to target, I just want the buyers. I just want to target people who are ready to buy and join right now. Mm-hmm. And yeah, that's great, but that's really only about 3% of your total audience online. And there's a whole nother 67% of your audience that they could use what you have to offer, but for whatever reason, they're not ready to buy and join right now, right? Mm-hmm. So we call this a solution-aware audience, right? Those are the people that are more ready to buy, versus a problem-aware audience where they have a problem, but they're not quite yet aware of the solution. So they're further away from a buying decision, but that's a huge part of your audience. And what you're talking about is creating content for that larger audience to get them into your onto your followers, get them onto your email list and start them down that customer journey sooner. And that just helps to build your business so much faster. And the other thing that you mentioned was how letting the algorithm, and right now it's a lot of AI in the algorithm, right? Not putting hashtags in there and letting the algorithm kind of take over and find your audience for you. And it's interesting to me that you mentioned that for the organic algorithm, because the paid ads algorithm is working the same way now. It used to be when you're putting together a Facebook ad or Instagram ad or something, and this was recent as like 2018, 2019, you would have to do this where you would create multiple ad sets targeting multiple, micro niche audiences, and each audience would have maybe 100,000 to 500,000 people in it. And, you'd create dozens of these, right? Like if depending on your ad spend, you might have, 10, 20, 30 different ad sets that you had running at the same time, all targeting slightly different audiences. And then you'd run the ad and you'd test it. You'll see what the ad spend comes back as, or the ad cost comes back as, and then you start turning off the ones that are not performing and reallocating your budget. And there was a lot of manual work to try to do it that way. And now it's to the point where the strategy has just completely flipped, where the algorithm is so good now, and it's looking at so many different data points, that the trend now for the top ad buyers out there is to just, a lot of them don't do any targeting. They don't specify any interests. They might specify an age range and country, right? They might specify some demographics. But as far as like interest targeting and things like that, they leave that wide open and they let the algorithm take over. And within a few days, it does a better job than what you could do doing all that work manually. And it does that because the algorithm is just so sophisticated now.
Yeah. Listen, it's crazy that you say that, because I feel like in a way there's still a lot more. It's the fact that it's getting closer to the organic is what's pushing me to go paid, and even though organic has helped me in such a big way, helped me quit my job and actually be on my own. I know it's still that element of paid advertisement, or you paying more for your viewers is still gonna outweigh the organic in some form or fashion, But I will say on the organic side, it does help you build that community base, and people who are, like you said, are not ready to buy, but they want to find somebody who is like them that they want to follow.
So obviously you're doing really good with vertical video, that you're crushing it, building massive audience, getting a ton of views. So we talked about your overall followers or subscribers. What are your top video views like per platform?
I've had over 1 million views before on both Instagram and TikTok. But I've also gotten close to 1 million views on YouTube too. But that was before I was Biz Nick, before I was financial literacy Nicholas. I got over 700,000 views on YouTube doing gaming, and that's a different story. But that honestly is why I even have this interest in content creation. So over the last 30 days on Instagram, I've reached 3.1 million accounts in the last 30 days. And TikTok, I'm a little slower on TikTok because, when you start reaching 3.1 million on Instagram, you kind of want to just go all in. But on TikTok, let me see, TikTok. One of my highest viewed videos definitely was over 1 million, over 2 million. But it was a video that was 7 seconds. It, it had a trending sound on it, and yeah, it just hit all the boxes. It did like 2 million, something like that.
Wow.
I can find it though.
That's awesome. So how have you taken these views and this audience that you're building organically? How are you turning those into sales?
So what I noticed is when I make videos, one of the things that people will do after they watch a video is...
This episode is sponsored by ConvertPoint.io. If you're an online business owner and you're looking for a simple, low-cost, all-in-one platform to simplify, systematize, and automate your business, then look no further. ConvertPoint has everything you need to build a successful online business. Funnels, websites, email autoresponders, text message marketing, invoices, sales pages, calendars, forms and surveys, social media management, membership sites and courses, automated workflows, and so much more. Now, not only that, but you also get access to free marketing courses. So you will learn how to actually use these tools to generate leads and make sales. You'll get courses on things like funnel building, on lead generation, copywriting, content creation, paid ads, and more. Plus, you'll get weekly live support directly from us so that you can ask questions and get personalized help to build your business. We'll help you to build your funnels, write your emails, create your ads. Whatever questions you have about building your business, we'll be there to give you the answers you need live every single week. And the best part is that it all comes at one super affordable price. So head over to convertpoint.io to check it out. That's convertpoint.io to start your risk-free trial today.
So what I noticed is when I make videos, one of the things that people will do after they watch your video is they're going to go check out your page. You know, they're going to see, okay, what else does he do? How else, you know, what other type of content that he has. So after that, I mean, typically in my videos, I have a call to action. Check out my page, follow me for more, check the link in my bio, you know, comment this buzzword. And let's just say I'm talking about debt. One of my videos I did 126K on TikTok. It did close to 1 million on Instagram. And in this video, I started off by saying me trying to explain to you that if you just learn consumer law for 1 hour a day for the next 6 months, you'll be able to quit your 9-to-5. But you'll just keep scrolling. And right there, it clicked people to say, okay, dang, all right, dang, what is he talking about? So the video is only about 45 seconds long. So in the rest of the video, I'm just talking about the benefits of consumer law. If you start to study it 1 hour a day, what you're going to be able to do, you're going to be able to fix your credit. You're going to be able to discharge your debt. You're going to be able to learn about debt and this mental slavery that you're in about debt. And if you want to learn more about this, click the link in my bio or follow me for more, or I'll see you next time. I'm just giving them a call to action, leading them to the link in my bio. And what I actually have are courses that educate people on consumer law, teaching people about credit repair, teaching people about financial literacy so they can be able to use that and apply it for their situation. So I have some digital products set up, and the whole point is making that video with the call to action and bring them to, and explain my bio and bring them to the link in my bio.
I mean, it just makes me think about like all the hundreds of thousands of people that were exposed to you and driven to a call to action where you're offering something paid, how much that would cost in paid traffic.
Yeah.
It's powerful. And we love the combination. We love, organic and we love paid both. There's pros and cons, but I think it's awesome that you've been able to really figure out the organic piece and drive significant traffic for yourself. That's awesome.
Thank you.
So one question I have is, when we talk about doing 5, 10 videos per day, even if they're really short, probably a lot of people are thinking to themselves, well, I don't even know what I'd say. I know what I'd say for one video, but I don't even know what I'd say for 2. Like, how do you come up with ideas for content? Like, is each video like especially unique from each other, or is it like a longer piece of content that you're just breaking up into several different parts?
That's a great question. So most of my content is it's really consistent with either hitting a couple of boxes, whether it's going to inspire, motivate, empower, or be informative. So most of my videos, I'm informing people, I'm inspiring people, I'm empowering people about my specific niche. So when we're talking about consumer law, most of my videos are talking about the benefits of consumer law. It's talking about different law codes and how to be able to use that to your advantage. I'm just consistently talking about how I actually help people. And when I find a specific model that works, like I said, with the 7-second post, I started to do 7-second posts and put text giving value. Of course, I was still checking the boxes of having a good hook. Like one of the hooks right now on TikTok is, I remember when I was mad at my 8-year-old little cousin. So I told him this, and then he hit me with, and then you're supposed to say like some extravagant quote that, that an 8-year-old wouldn't say. And so instead of me just putting like a quote, I put something like, he said, then he hit me with, in 1933, all debts were discharged because of the United States bankruptcy. But you'll just keep scrolling, and I'll just say something like that and make content very like clever but also inserting my niche in there. And it would just be like, they'll think it's a casual post, but I'll insert my niche in there. And they're like, okay, dang, he's talking about consumer law. And that's how I also attract other people from other places and other parts of TikTok. So, and then if it's talking style videos, I've learned that making videos in my car performed really well. And I started to use my car to, create content. I started to, again, it's just about consistently telling people what you do or teaching people what you do. I make content for my younger self. I make content for my family members. All the times when I spoke about consumer law or spoke about entrepreneurship and they wasn't listening to me, I started making content for them, even though they don't know it. I'm making content for them. I am talking to them. I am talking to that younger version of myself. I am talking to my girlfriend. I am talking to my twin brother who, obviously wants to, build a brand on social media. I'm talking to him too. These are things that I've already said to them before, but, they ain't listen. So I started pouring my art or what I was thinking and all my thoughts into the content. So anything that aligns with what you are, who you are, your brand in totality is what you can talk about. It's really an unlimited amount of things that you can talk about that's going to either attract people, inspire people, motivate people, or even just get them to want to follow you and just see the great person that you are, because that's what it's all about. That's what our brand is. Our brand is us.
So I'm curious because I know that you've built a 6-figure business online, fully organic, which is awesome. How long from when you got really serious about content creation until you hit, what were some of your milestones and timeline and what it took to do that?
I got on social media, or I got on TikTok in 2021, the start of 2021. The reason why I got on TikTok is because one of my friends who was actually a part of the network marketing program that we was a part of, he got on TikTok maybe in 2020, towards the end of 2020. And he grew 80,000 followers. Now, mind you, this is at the beginning, nobody really was on TikTok for business, to the point where if you make a video about business, especially around this time, he had 18-year-olds, 17-year-olds. He had 20-year-olds, 25-year-olds hitting his DMs. And you got to think, in network marketing, we was in people's DMs. Hey, are you looking for other ways of making money? This, that, and the third. So when I seen him do that and people was hitting him up, I said, I got to get on here. So 2021, I got on there. Probably towards the end of January. I typically like to do stuff after my birthday. So my birthday's in January. So I felt okay, let me do something. So I got on social media and I posted one video, actually did pretty good. It did 700 views, which was pretty good.
For our first video, that's good.
For 700 new people see me. And I was like, okay, I got 10 followers. I was like, okay, I'm actually growing on here. And so I did that for a couple of months. I was probably posting 2 or 3 times a week. I wasn't really seeing the opportunity just yet. But I was still making videos because I knew that this was actually going to help me. I knew that, okay, if I continue to post, I'll eventually be at 80,000 followers. And I know when I get to 80,000 followers, everybody said, when I get to this, I'm going to, which I did. But I said, if I had 80,000 followers, I'm going to run this up. I am going to run it up. And I got on there. It wasn't until April until I got to my first 10, 20,000 followers. And this is when that video went viral. That shorter video, it went viral. That's when I got to 10, 20,000 followers, but I was posting for a couple months before that actually happened. I was getting some views. I was getting 20,000 views. I was getting 10,000. I was getting 5,000 sometimes. By the time that video blew up, I had about 6,000 followers. So I was still feeling good because I've never had that many people stop and follow me. But when that video went viral, it propelled me all the way up to 20,000 followers. And that was okay. And on top of that, I also was going to start doing credit repair. And the reason why I even started posting the credit was because I came from an event. I went to an event, a financial literacy event, and I learned about credit and obviously the benefits. So my first post when I came back was a credit video. That video went viral. I had a booking link for credit repair, consultation set up. Do you know I booked 2 months worth of leads. So we talk about I had my Calendly from 1 p.m. to 7 p.m. And if you know Calendly, I didn't put a time frame of no space in between how many book calls. So it was every 15 minutes I had
Holy cow.
every 15 minutes from 1 to 7 p.m. for 2 months.
Oh my goodness.
For 2 months. And when I seen that happen, I was just like, I didn't get no sales. I'll be honest. I didn't get no sales. But the experience that I got, I took that and I seen how I was able to get booked here, and I took it to the network marketing side. Was able to have 50 out of 50 webinars. I would have webinars with, 100 plus people sometimes. And my webinars was booked every day. I was doing webinars every day, probably 2 or 3 webinars every day, because I was really determined to the position in the company. End up hitting that position in about 3 months after I started to use this format. And again, I was just going straight off a will. I was just posting content and getting people booked to my calendar. When I would get a calendar booking, it was like, yes, and that's what I was gunning for a couple of months. And it wasn't until I got a mentor for TikTok growth. And this was we going from April all the way to November. I was a little bit plateauing because I was, still posting trying to do 1 minute content. This is before I was in the 7-second content, understanding trends and all of that. So I was making 1 minute content, promoting the value, and that was more hit or miss. It'll have to be a really good video that checks all the boxes and has a call to action, going to link in my bio. Even videos that were smaller was still getting bookings, but I wasn't getting followers. And the business I was talking about, yes, people were interested in the business and booking, but I wasn't getting that community aspect where people was like, okay, I know what he does. And so I went to my mentor at the time and to learn how to grow on TikTok. And at this time I had about close to 30,000 followers. So I only gained about 10,000 followers from April to, this wasn't November. This is probably September when I met up with him. So September, started working with him. He started teaching me about the algorithm. He started teaching me about 7-second posts. He started teaching me about text posts and how you can, instead of you trying to communicate in 1 minute, you could just type it out in text, put it over a 7-second video, and that'll perform even better. Let's say you take that same format and you put a call to action. Now people are really going to go and book. You can also put a call to action to tell people to follow you. So I'm like, okay, so I learned that. And I went to him to grow my network marketing business. But what ended up happening in me, wanting to develop an offer, I started to understand credit even more, start to help people even more. That's when I started to create content about credit. And that's really what propelled me to push to 100,000 followers, because now I was talking about something that, even though I feel like anybody can use network marketing or anybody can be a part of the business I was a part of, it just wasn't the way we had to promote it. We couldn't really say everything online. And so in a way that gave me an element of mysteriousness that when I started talking about credit, I could just be more open and talk about everything when it comes to credit. And so I felt like that was able to help me grow even more, just using those strategies and using a platform at TikTok. And I've been using his strategies all the way up until now. And, and he taught an organic strategy. He didn't teach paid ads, because most of his clients that was coming in didn't even have, the income to pay for ads. They only probably had the income to even get started.
Gotcha. Okay, cool. So what that brings me to my next question is, what's next for you? Like, what do you see as your next step in this business?
I would just say put myself out there more, doing more podcasts like this. Appreciate you guys for having me on your podcast. Getting on more podcasts, networking more. Again, continue to put myself out there, but more importantly, just help more people. I'm not in this just to, have exposure or just to make money. I really want to empower people. I really want to show people that they can actually do it too, whether it's, using consumer law to your benefit, or it's to build and grow on social media to become a success, or ultimately do what you dream of doing. I grew up and this was my dream, being in the position where I can move on my own terms, make money on my own terms, live the life that I want. I'm doing YouTube now. This is one of my biggest dreams, to do YouTube with 11K on YouTube. So my goal is to continue to just grow those platforms even more, develop my offers even more, make them more robust, and more importantly, just help more people. That's why I'm here.
I love that. Well, obviously, our expertise is definitely on the marketing and the marketing and sales side of this, of what you're doing. And really, what I think, I don't know, Todd can chime in too, but my thoughts for like your next phases and where you can go is really work to finesse all of your sales systems, optimize all of the conversions at every step of the way on your organic, because you have all of that free traffic right now, right? So first, work to really maximize your back-end systems, to maximize your conversions.
Mm-hmm.
Once they're maximized, then it's silly not to get into paid ads.
Yeah.
Because then once you've got it really dialed in, it's almost printing money. I probably shouldn't say that, but it's like put $1 in, you're getting $3 out, $4 out, $5 out. And you've got the opportunity of not having to test your systems on paid traffic. You can test those systems on your organic traffic, which is awesome. And so get those systems super optimized, and then let's jump into paid ads. And then you just decide how much you want to make, and just keep growing. So I'm super excited for you. I love what you're doing and what you've accomplished so far. It's amazing.
Yeah, and I would just add to that benefit of being able to test your offer with a bunch of free organic traffic is a huge advantage. And even though, we say this all the time, paid traffic converts very differently from organic traffic, right? But even with that being the case, you've got enough organic traffic that what we would want to do is put a system together so that it's not so much manual work. So that, when you do get, 2 months full of bookings on your calendar, that we've automated the filtering process. And so anybody that's unqualified for a call, that's not going to lead to a sale, we've already disqualified them and removed them from your calendar in an automated way. That the people that are showing up for your calls, that they're already prepared and they're already, they've already made the decision whether they're going to join or not. Right? It's just a matter of dropping the price on them and working and finding a way of making that happen, right? Based on their ability to invest. Just so that you are optimizing your ad dollar. When you do start investing in ads, you've optimized every dollar so that there's no inefficiencies, right? We're not spending your time on tire kickers. We're not wasting ad dollars on people who are not ready to buy and join right now, right? That's the benefit of having all that free traffic, is that we can optimize those systems with that, so that when we do run the paid traffic, we can run it in a much more efficient way. Most people who want to start with free traffic and optimize things that way first, usually they don't have a source of free traffic and they're trying to generate it from the very beginning. And for those people, we would say, no, just start with the paid traffic, because you'll get results a lot faster and the return on investment will come a lot faster. Because if you're trying to start from ground zero with organic, and you want to simultaneously put a system together and all that stuff to try to convert that, it's just so much work that we see there's just a high failure rate when people try to do it that way. But since you already have that source of free traffic, it just makes sense to do it that way.
Okay, I'm definitely down to invest in paid traffic. The organic actually it's showing me, it validated my offer, and so I am very ready to start using paid traffic. Of course, it's just making sure my systems are in order, before I do that. So still working on that to this day. But I mean, if you guys have anything to offer, which I know you guys do, well, we definitely can talk about that.
Well, Nick, this has been amazing. The gold nuggets that you've dropped here, they've inspired me. I know that they have just blown the minds of our audience. So how do they find you? Like, what is your hashtag or your username on the different platforms? Where should people go to touch base with you?
Okay, you guys, my name is Nicholas Burns. You guys can find me on Instagram at biz.nick. You can also find me on YouTube at biznick as well. Or you could just type in Nicholas Burns on YouTube. You'll be able to find me. I'm also on TikTok. I have 2 TikTok pages, but I'm on TikTok as well. So if you look me up on there, you'll be able to find me. But that's how you can find me. I help people with consumer law, teaching people how to use that to develop themselves, better their consumer reports so that they can be able to get funded and ultimately build and grow their business. So that's me, you guys. Thank you, Leah and Ty, for having me. And yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. This was phenomenal. You've been listening to the Digital Trailblazer podcast. For show notes and information about today's guest, head to digitaltrailblazer.com. Now, if you love this episode, if you got some value, make sure you leave us a review and subscribe. And be sure to share this episode with anyone you know who could use help to build their business. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you next time.